My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Me and Jakey Boy are going to walk through our bets for UFC London. This is a really fun fight card. Tricky betting card, though, because there's some massive favorites and then some pick'ems in between. So let's see what we end up with. But if you want $50 free, we are doing a giveaway for every single human being that goes to wewantpicks.com/bets, signs up with any one of our 5 betting partners, then make a deposit and let us know after you do. We send you $50 as a thank you for supporting us and our partners. That's wewantpicks.com/bets. There's 5 different betting partners there. They all offer their own matches and all of those. At the bottom of that page, there is a form. Fill it out. We get you paid $50. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, however you want it. Interesting card, Jake. Everybody made weight. Weigh-ins were no problem. And this breakdown is brought to you by oddsjam.com. Oddsjam.com has real-time betting lines from all of your favorite sportsbooks. It updates as often as possible, and they allow you to highlight when a sportsbook is lagging or when you can get the best line. Check out oddsjam.com, especially on a card like this where odds are moving. Check it out. Look at your favorite sportsbooks and then jump into a line that makes the most sense for you before they update. Oddsjam.com. I don't have a ton of bets this week, but I do have 4 units going. I do have 4 units going. So let me walk you through. I did Tom Aspinall money line. I did that last week, and I honestly feel less good about it every single day. Every single day.
Great English.
Less good. Every single day, I wish I didn't place that bet. Frankly, Tom Aspinall is a very good fighter. He's got great hands. We talked about him training with Tyson Fury. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He's a black belt. He's submitted Andrei Arlovski, who's a legitimate veteran, and he's got some takedowns in between. But Alexander Volkov is stupid tough. He has fought some of the best in the world. He has hung in there with some of the best in the world. Cyril Gane, yes, he lost that fight. I'm not going to argue that he didn't, but he was somewhat competitive in that fight. He had his moments. And we've just never seen Tom Aspinall go 5 rounds, let alone 3 rounds, let alone 5. With that being said, when I placed this bet, I recognize the tools that he has, the ability that he has. He will be fighting in London. Alexander Volkov, although he's coming off of a win, did not look good in that. Did not look good. You know, he had some moments in the Cyril Gane fight, but, you know, at no point was he in a position to win that fight. I think Volkov's on his way down. Aspinall's on his way up. He is very talented. I just worry. I don't worry that Volkov is the better fighter. I worry that Tom Aspinall can't go 5 rounds. So the reality is he's the better fighter. It's almost even money. I took the bet. I'm going to stick with the bet. But that is my concern, is the 5 rounds for Tom Aspinall. Then we've got Paul Craig, nasty grappler. He's fighting Nikita Krylov, who's very well-rounded. Very good takedowns, very good striking. His submission defense is not the best. Paul Craig wins inside the distance. Decision, no action is the bet that I placed here. Basically, if Paul Craig is able to pull off one of those ridiculous submissions that he does, and he has a ton of come-from-behind submissions, so I'll be biting my nails this whole fight. If he pulls off one of those submissions, I get plus 200. I double my money. But if the fight goes to a decision, he gets taken down, beat up, loses the striking exchanges, and he ends up losing a decision, I get a refund. I get my money back. No bet was placed. No big deal. And I think those are the only 2 outcomes. I think Krylov either wins a decision or gets submitted. That's it. I think those are the 2 outcomes. So to double my money or risk none of it on that, I'm good with that all day. You are only going to get that safety net bet at BetOnline. So go to wewantpicks.com/bets. We have 5 partners. BetOnline is the one partner that offers that safety net bet. I'm very comfortable with that. Then I did Craig Krylov over 1.5 rounds. So, you know, I think it's, as I mentioned, it's either Krylov by decision or Craig by submission. I think Krylov in the first round is going to be sticking and moving, not fully engaging in the grappling and trying to avoid the ground. So I do think this goes over 1.5 rounds. Obviously, he's got to get through more than just the first round, but I think this is over 1.5 rounds, closer to a decision than it is an early stoppage. And then I did a parlay. I've had an incredible amount of success these last couple of weeks, couple of months doing 2 fighter parlays, 2 good-sized favorites that I'm very confident in. I'm going 3 fighters here because 2 fighters, just the odds were not what I like. So I like Ilia Topuria to win this fight. He's obviously going up in weight. He had some drama with Patty during the week. I don't think any of that matters. But I think this is a pretty straightforward win for him. I think he takes Jai down, beats Jai up. Then we've got Sergey Pavlovich. He is coming back after a 2-year layoff, which is worrisome. But his opponent is on sort of a rough stretch. He hits like a truck. Chris Dawkins knocked his opponent out, no problem. I see Sergey doing the same thing.
Not to interrupt, but he looked fantastic at weigh-ins. He looked jacked, big, thick. He looked really good.
Yeah, 2 year, and he was one of the people I was worried about. Him and Gunnar Nelson. I was worried about, a long layoff. Both of these guys are coming off 2-year layoffs. What are they going to look like on the scale? And they both look good. Gunnar Nelson looked fine. He has had, he said he hasn't been fighting for 2 years because of plaguing rib injuries. But he has a short notice opponent that can't grapple, and that's what Gunnar Nelson does. So I'm pretty confident in the 3 of them to win. And honestly, frankly, these are pretty good odds, considering 3 of them are big-time favorites. Gunnar Nelson and Gunnar and Ilya, I think minus 500, something stupid like that. So anyway, almost even money, 1 unit on the 3 of them. Jacob, you've got 3 slides here. What do you got going on?
Should just be 2 slides. So
I separated the last one out for aesthetics.
Okay, that's fine. Let's start with March Madness. I got absolutely destroyed yesterday, so I'm hoping that these UFC bets come through for me. I've been doing really well with UFC, and every time I bet a different sport, I lose all the money I make on UFC, so I just need to stick to UFC is what it comes down to. First bet, Arnold Allen, lock of the week. I got these odds last week. I was pre-looking at the UFC London card because we were really excited. Me and Angela were talking about it, and I saw Arnold Allen with plus money. And I'm thinking, how the hell is a 17-1 fighter not the favorite in this fight? I don't care who he's fighting. He should be at least a pick 'em. Plus money seemed crazy, so I jumped at that. That's why it's kind of important, and I think we both need to get better at that as looking forward to cards or looking in advance at cards at odds that might have shifted yet, because we've seen those odds shift all the way. I think Arnold Allen is a minus 125 on some books now. So I put 4 units at plus 110. I knew he was going to be my lock of the week last week. I feel even better about it now. The money's coming in. I think he's just going to dominate that fight. I wasn't worried about Dan Hooker's weight cut, but we saw him on the scale. He wore the sunglasses because his eyes are going to be all sunken in. He doesn't want to look like he looks bad, and he did his little flex on there. He did a little clap, but I mean, it's an eye test, guys. He looks strained out. You can see the pictures of him from 2016 when he was a featherweight, and now you could definitely tell he was a natural lightweight cutting back down to featherweight now. So we'll see what happens. I'm very comfortable with Arnold Allen pick now. Second money line pick is going to be Mike Grundy, and this is pure. I picked Amir Khan to win this fight, but then Mike Grundy in his press conference or in an interview, whatever, mentioned that his dad was just diagnosed with terminal cancer. His dad is going to be cage side with him for this fight. And in a fight that's so even, it comes down to intangibles, right? And this is basically just like a emotional pick for me. But I think that Mike Grundy comes out and just steamrolls Americani now. I think that he just comes out with that passion, with that aggression. He was already going to be the better wrestler. I was kind of wondering how the MMA wrestling was going to go. But in this situation, with all I know about what's going on with Mike Grundy, it could work the opposite way. But a guy like him that's just so tough anyway, I think he's going to come in and steamroll. So when I found out that news, the unfortunate news for Mike Grundy and his family, I think he comes in motivated, dedicated, and inspired to fight for his father. And I put 2 units on it. So even if I lose that, I don't care. All respect out to Mike Grundy and his father. So then we're getting into prop bets. I have Jai and Ilya over 1.5 rounds. So it seems like a lot of people think that either Jai's going to flatline this dude, this clown, in the first round, or Ilya's going to find a way to take him down and submit him in the first round. And typically, how those fights go when people are so even about this guy's going to finish him in the first round, this guy, they kind of just stare at each other for a while. And I think if Jai is able to get Ilya's respect early, Ilya's going to be a little bit shy coming forward because Ilya likes to just kind of bully people. He likes to pressure people. You saw that with Patty. Just kind of like he's a pretend bully. He has no courage, this guy. So I think they kind of stare at each other for the first round. I put it over 1.5 rounds at plus money, just plus 100. I put a unit on that. The next one, I really wanted to do Patty in the first round. I was just Patty first round. That place, the O2 is going to be insane when Patty comes out. He's going to be jacked up. He's going to want to prove a point. I hedged it a little bit. I took under 1.5 rounds. So even if Patty gets starched, like Angelo thinks he might in the first round, let's see he comes out a little.
I don't say starched. I say if he's going to hang around on his feet, he's in some trouble. We saw how hittable he is. But if he grapples,
you think he's going to get knocked out? You thought he got knocked out in his last fight. You think he's going to get knocked out this fight? True. And if it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen early because he's going to come out aggressive. So I have it hedged on both sides, under 1.5 rounds. It's minus 130, but I like those odds on that. I put 1.3 units to get a unit back with the minus 130. The next one, we both, I think, like Paul Craig, but we don't really trust him quite enough to put money line bets on him. That's why you have your bet to get money back on a decision. I played it a little bit different. I have the 3.5. So I don't get quite as good as odds as Angelo because he needs inside the distance. But if it's a decision, he gets his money back. Mine is I just need Paul Craig to win a round. And if he gets a submission win, if he's inside the distance, I still get paid, just not as much as Angelo. So I kind of hedged a little bit more with the plus 3.5. If you want to explain the plus 3.5 bet, you can.
Yeah, so plus 3.5, you're basically buying a round. So it is 3.5 points on the total judges scorecard. That works out to one single round. You're only going to get that at Bet Online. So again, if Paul Craig wins inside the distance, you get paid. If Paul Craig wins a decision, you get paid. If he loses a decision, but he won one round on his own, 29-28, you bought another round and you get paid. So it's you're only going to get that at Bet Online. So go to weonpicks.com/bets, and Bet Online is the only partner that offers that.
Right. So I think we both wanted to put something on Paul Craig this week, and I was flirting. A lot of people are all really high on that submission bet. You know, he could get out wrestled just trying to chase submissions the whole time, but I think he has the opportunity definitely to at least win a round. So that's why I put the 3.5 bet at plus 120. The next bet is because of that son of a bitch, Ariel Helwani. In my Twitter timeline, I see a picture pop up of Tekashi. He's sitting there and he's like, looks like he's about to die. And the caption literally says, "I'm about to die." This is Tekashi posting his own photo. "I'm about to die cutting weight." So I'm like, all right, so let me put submission bets on Gunnar Nelson. I think he's going to win anyway, but let me go round 1, round 2, submission bets, feeling good about it. And then I check Tekashi's timeline, and the next post he posted was a picture of him smiling like, "Just kidding, no big deal." So Ariel tweeted out or retweeted that he's about to die. So I make this bet, and it turns out his weight cut was fine. But I still think Gunnar Nelson should dominate this fight. If he's going to win, when he wins, it should be by submission. I think he has the opportunity to get it done early. That's why these odds are so low. I mean, plus 200 for a round 1 submission win is very, very low. So I put a full unit on each one of those because I thought Tekashi was going to die. Apparently he's not, but that's why I placed a bet for that son of a bitch Ariel. Okay, next slide, please. Click. Next parlay is my, this is basically a pick'ems parlay, but I love all these guys. Angelo was talking about Tom Aspinall, not quite as high on him. If there's one of these guys I don't feel as good about, it probably is Tom Aspinall because as the fight goes on, his chances of winning are going to go less and less and less. Once it gets to the third round, Tom Aspinall's chance of winning are just going to deteriorate rapidly because Volkov is no joke on the feet with his kickboxing and can just keep his pace. I mean, Volkov knows who he is and can just keep that pace the whole time. And then obviously we know about Arnold Allen, the lock of the week, that's going to hit. And then we have Jack Shore. We'll see what happens in that fight. I think he's a better MMA grappler and wrestler, but we'll see if he can get that done. Plus 715. I put 2 units on that. Feeling good about that. I placed that earlier in the week too, so I got a little bit better odds on Arnold and Tom Aspinall as well. So, and then I have my click. Then I have my Freckled Salamander parlay, and this basically I think is a parlay of basically all local people. So we have Jack Shore, Corey McKenna. I think Krylov is Ukraine, Grunny McCann. I think Gunnar Nelson is Norway, but then Paddy the Baddy, Arnold Aspinall. So this is just like the UFC London, like home favorite parlay card, but I actually kind of feel good about it. I mean, I think they're all favorites in this matchup. Slight favorites. I think Jack Shore is the only underdog on this, but I mean, plus 7,000 odds. I put a unit on a little flyer. We'll see if the crowd can get behind their people and see what happens here. But you can see that list, the Freckled Salamander parlay. Hit me up on onlyfans.com/Freckled Salamander. And we're gonna make some money this week.
The Freckled Salamander name gets me every single time. But, you and I are split on some of these fights, but it is an interesting card. Lots of really fun fights. Lots of toss-up ones. And we'll see what happens. We will find out how good some of these English prospects really are. And actually, they're not all English. European prospects really are. Because the UFC did not do a lot of them many favors. Jack Shore's got a really tough matchup. I mean, Molly McCann's got a tough matchup. Paddy has an easy matchup on paper, but we've seen how hittable he is. Tom Aspinall's got a tough matchup. They did not do these English fighters.
Arnold Allen's got a tough matchup. Yeah,
Arnold Allen does. Paul Craig does. UFC did not do these European fighters any favors. And as a fan, great. That just makes for more exciting fights. If you want to get paid, check out weonpicks.com/bets. Sign up with one of the betting partners. Make a deposit. And I send you $50. All I need to do is verify your deposit. It takes about 12 hours. And then I get you paid.
And everyone just make sure you're going through the steps. I'm tired of seeing comments of like, where's my $50? Right? Well, you probably didn't go through the steps right. Follow the steps, fill out the form, and then you'll get your money. Don't just like sign up for a website and be like, where's my $50?
No, it's literally, it's very simple. WeWon'tPicks.com.
You'll get paid. I promise you'll get paid if you do it right. Nobody's
Right
trying to
there
screw
on the
anyone here.
website, you click a link, you sign up, and then at the bottom, there's literally a claim my money form. All I need is your account number and how you want to get paid. Takes about 12 hours to verify the account. Once it's verified, I pay you. It's literally that simple. Click the links, WeWon'Picks.com/bets.